going live, going live. Says we're live. Hello, hello. Are we live? We're live. How are you? Welcome back. So today I'm going to talk about how to get someone to read your screenplay, part 1 or lesson 1. I'm going to talk about white space. And that's what tonight we're talking about, because I believe that this applies in general to any screenwriter and any screenplay, but it's especially important for spec screenwriters and spec screenplays. And that's because when you're being paid to write something already, or when you're a known or proven writer, you could probably get away with a lot more than you normally would. Now, this is a lesson that I never hear anybody talk about, but it's such a lesson about the practicals of screenwriting and the actual reality of show business and filmmaking. And hello, I'm going to take a real quick, and hello, Daniel. Hello, Michael. Good evening to you too as well. Thanks for joining. As I was saying, I was talking about hello. Thank you. Talking about Sonil. Am I saying that right, Sonil? I'm talking about where I lost my train of thought. Sorry. The practicals of screenwriting, the reality of show business. This is an important lesson because I think it'll also make you a better screenwriter, and I will get to why as well. Hi, Jamie. How are you? Thanks for joining. So now this is a lesson that nobody taught me, and this took me years and years of observation and of having people send me screenplays, trying to get my screenplays read, and writing to and in writing and rewriting my own stuff. And I actually think this will happen. This will help no matter what your screenplay is and no matter who you are. Thank you. All good, mate. I appreciate it. And that is white space. White space. White space. What is white space? I'm going to show you. So this is the script to The Romance of the Pink Panther, written by Peter Sellers and Jim Maloney. This is an unproduced screenplay that Peter Sellers wrote to make as part of the original Pink Panther series, which is one of my favorite comedy series of all times. And unfortunately, he died before he had a chance to make this. But I was flipping through this. It's one of the few screenplays I had lying around. And I want you to look at this. I'm going to see if I can get a good shot. Look at all the white space when you're comparing the ink to the white. The ink to the white. There's a lot of white space, right? And then I'm going to show you, this is also another unproduced screenplay, and this was by Chris Columbus, very famous filmmaker, as you might know. And he, I think he directed the original Harry Potter, wrote Goonies. And this is his screenplay for Indiana Jones 3. This is before Last Crusade. And this is also another unproduced script. And I'm just going to show you. I was flipping through this. Look at this. I mean, look at the lack of white space. And I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. And you know what? I look at this, and I don't want to read it. Now, I did read it, and it's an interesting read. But what happens is, that's the first thing that anybody does, is when they get your screenplay, is they flip through it. They see how many pages it is, and they see how dense it is. And they look at it, and they think, how much time is this going to take me to get through? Now, I know it doesn't seem right? Because a well-written screenplay should just be good enough. And if something is entertaining enough and enjoyable to read, it's got great descriptions, then, well, yeah, that should work on its own merit, and they should just dive right in. But if it's in the hands of the right people, they already have a ton of scripts to read. And the truth is, they probably just want to get through these scripts to just eliminate the script, get it out of my pile, or put it on a maybe pile. And if it goes on a maybe pile, then they got to go and they got to send it to other people to see if they want to buy your screenplay, let alone get it made. And then that person has a job to do to try to push that up the line. And they got to get other people to read it. So you want to make everybody's job as easy as you possibly can. Now, obviously, there are outliers and there are exceptions, and you know, you do what you want, right? Like if you believe in your writing, then you know, go for what you think it is. But I'm just telling you to just, and I'm not telling you to just, you know, cut everything willy nilly. I'm just saying to make this uh, uh, a part of what you're thinking as you're writing. So here, I'll give you an example, right? There's a producer who bought one of my screenplays, and I got a great relationship with him. And then his company funded my movie, right? They made the movie at the end of last year. They're in post-production now. Now, I met him after they bought the screenplay, after they funded the movie, when we were on set. They hired me to do rewrites, so they clearly liked my my writing. And in talking with him on set, he was talking to me about how he needs more screenplays and how he's looking for more projects, and he's looking for a screenplay that's a contained thriller that he could shoot during COVID, that's a small cast, that's you know, kind of a lower end budget. And now I have a screenplay that's won 2 major awards, right? And it fills all his needs. It's a contained thriller. Could be shot relatively cheap. It's basically got 3 main characters. I think it's a simple story. It's easy to market it. And I sent it to him, I don't know when, months ago, right? And he still hasn't read it. Now, why? Right? Because he's busy. He's busy. He must have hundreds of screenplays to read. And I'm sure for him, it's never ending. And even with all that going for me, the personal relationship, the history of our work together, the accolades of the screenplay itself, it's still hard for me to get him to read it. It's still hard for him to make the time to read it. So the last thing I want to do is have him pick up this when he finally does. Right? Now, you just don't want it to look and feel like a chore. You don't want it to be the first thing that they feel about your script. There's a 140-page dense thing. It's just, they're just going to, you know, suffer through. Now, granted, a lot of times it goes to readers first and it gets coverage first before somebody like that would even read it. And maybe that's what's going on behind the scenes. But even that person has got to read it. Even that person has got to look at it. And, you know, maybe because they're paid professionals that they're not going to take that into consideration, but I highly doubt it. They are human. Now, granted, if it's a great, fun read, if it's engaging, you think you got it, you know, right away, right? Go do your thing. You think your paragraphs and descriptions are entertaining and they're, you know, the detail of the white shirt with the blue stripes that'll probably get changed anyway, that really has nothing to do with the story, go ahead, write it in. But I personally think it's probably doing more damage than it's helping. Also, you're taking away the ability for these people who are reading your script to use their imagination. The brain fills in the blanks, right? That's why when you read a book, you can read a book and not have things so detailed. Your brain fills in the blanks, and you're getting your reader more involved. Okay. Back to the story about having my the producer read my screenplay. The lesson of patience aside, right? Because that's a whole nother conversation. It is difficult to get the right people to read your screenplay. So when you do, make it easy for them. That's just my advice. Now, as a screenwriter, we all want to get our screenplays read, and it's not just by our friends, but it's by and families, but people who could get the movie made. And, you know, unless you're Tarantino, chances are nobody's really excited to read your screenplay, no matter how good of a writer you are. They want less work. I think if Charles Dickens, who I absolutely love, who's amazing to read, if he wrote screenplay, it would be true for him too. Because the point is not to have this printed in a book and have this stand alone as a written work, which also you hope it also happens, right? But it's about, do I want to get this movie made? Do I like this guy or girl as a writer, right? You're writing for the purpose. You're writing for the purpose to have this movie made. And or even just as a writing sample, what you want is you want somebody to have pleasure in every area that that you have in your screenplay. Every, I've completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Anyway, so that to me, that's about the reality of screenplay. That's about the truth of the screenwriting process and the technical aspects of selling a screenplay and the screenwriting business and getting someone to read your screenplay and enjoy it. Now, I know it doesn't seem right, but that's the truth. Now, how does that make you a better screenwriter, right? If you're just cutting out everything. Well, I'm not suggesting you cut out everything. But what I'm saying is look at your paragraphs, look at your sentences, look at your dialogue. What can you cut? Can you do it as an exercise? Do it as an exercise. What in this, if I take out 25% of the words on this, what will it read? How many words can I pull out and have the idea, the sentence, the story point still make sense? How can I do it entertainingly and do it where it's fun, right? And I think by doing that, even if you decide to go in and then you're going to have just paragraphs of paragraphs, if you've at least thought about that while you're writing and you're going back and you're looking at it with that eye and you're making the conscious decision that, no, these words need to be here. This paragraph needs to be this long. This is entertaining and it's a fun read, and every word in here is important, then leave it. But at least it's intentional, and at least you've thought about it, and at least you're going in knowing that. Anyway, any questions? I hope some people are still here. Any thoughts, ideas? I'm open. Nope. So that's it. All right. Well, we'll be doing more. I think I'm going to go over some of these screenplays. I might read this one day, Indy 3 for everybody, this unproduced Indy 3 script, and maybe even Romance of the Pink Panther, because there's some great laughs in that too, and there's some interesting things in the Indy 3 script by Chris Columbus. Check out my other videos. Thank you. I hope it was great advice. I really appreciate you guys, you all coming by and listening. Check out some other videos, some other things. I don't know what else I got. I'm going to pop up here, and you'll probably hear from me next Friday night again, if not before. Be well. Have a great time, life, right? Keep writing.